welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble and I'm here with your readings for March the 26th through April the 1st. I can't believe we're in April already. It's crazy. So first of all, thank you for liking my videos, for sharing them on your social media, for commenting. I read every comment, for subscribing if you haven't already. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And please check out my Patreon page. I have a Patreon page. The link will be below, and it'll also be on my YouTube channel, and just check it out. It's another way to just support me, and I want to thank my patrons. I just started it a week or so ago, and it's just thank you. Now, I just wanted to do a little astrological report first. Also, personal readings are below. These are for general readings. They're for your sun, moon, and rising. You'll find those links to the other videos down below, so you can click on your sun, moon, and rising. And I will put a timeline if you're checking out more than one video, where to skip this intro, because I'll put this intro on everything. So the big news is the full moon in Libra on the 31st. Now, this is a blue moon. We call it a blue moon. That's how it comes, once in a blue, right? Once in a blue moon. It's usually every 2.5 years, but we actually had one in January. But we didn't have only because we didn't have a full moon in February, because it was 28 days. It was too short. So we have 2 full moons, and the second moon is not really blue. It's just called a blue moon. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go to astrology. So this very powerful full moon is in Libra. Now, Libra is about love. It's about relationship. It's about harmony. It's no conflict. It wants to be balanced, and that's wonderful, right? Yes. But at the same time, the Sun and Mercury, which is retrograde, is opposing it, and that's in Aries. And also we have Mars in Capricorn and Saturn opposing it too. So there's this, there's Leo. There's the full moon in Libra out there on its own, trying to balance all this energy, and it's going to be a little challenging. Now, so they're all challenging aspects. Now, the thing that's going to save us somewhat is that, okay, the Sun is about, your identity, me, shining on me, right? And Mercury is about communication. But Mercury is retrograde, so when a planet's going forward, it's about what you project outward, right? So when it's retrograde, it's about going in. So, with this Mars energy, we're going to want to we'll perhaps, say something really fast without thinking. So with Mercury in retrograde, it might slow it down a bit. Also with Saturn there. Saturn, Mars is about action, moving forward really fast, and Saturn's about no, slow, stop, and may even put blocks in place to slow you down, right? It's known as the planet of accidents. Sometimes it's just to slow you, stop. You need to slow down. It's the planet of teaching lessons, right? So it's a dynamic energy that's happening this week. And if we look, full moons are usually a culmination, right? It can be the ending of something. It can be, releasing relationships. It can be releasing behaviors that aren't working for us anymore. It can be releasing the way we react or respond, or releasing friendships. It can be about forgiveness. It can be about healing. It's a good time to kind of reflect and to go in and see what no longer works for us anymore. That's what a full moon is really good for. And also it can be the culmination and, you know, the blossoming of something that you've really worked hard on. And it could be the culmination of all that. You know, your intentions at the first moon, right? At the new moon, go back and see what your intentions were. That's why I always write mine down and see if anything's come to fruition. It's really interesting, really is, to do that. Now, what else is going on? I have to put my glasses on and look at my notes for this. Yes, it can be very emotional and sensitive for some people. Of course, that's the new moon, right? We could be extremely sensitive when somebody says something, and we could really be hurt by it. So it's important to really think before we speak, like bite your tongue. You know, take a deep breath in. Think about what you're going to say. And also what you can say, what you say may be misconstrued. Now, Venus will have moved into Taurus, and Venus is at home in Taurus, darling. She's going home. She's feeling really good. She'll be languishing on the couch, eating bonbons, taking, you know, rose petal baths. She's going to feel romantic. She's going to feel wonderful. So you've got this wonderful energy. And at the same time, she's moving into a really nice aspect to Uranus, which is the planet of surprises. Meet a new love. We could bump into someone unexpectedly when we least expect it, right? It could be about, you know, Venus is about finances too. We could have some surprises with finances. So I feel that this is a really interesting and a really lovely energy coming in. And I think this is a really opportune time to focus on, you know, equality and balance, because that's what Libra is about. And look what's happening, you know, across the nation. It's all the young people are you know, rising up and what amazing speakers they were. I was blown away by that. Anyway, listen, that's getting on something else. Anyway, that was just so moving to watch that. To watch all those young people so articulate and so confident and so done with what's going on. Power to you guys. You're going to save us. Anyway, let's go to your card, shall we? Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your reading for March the 26th through April the 1st. And today is the 26th. I only got two last readings out today because I had a very busy weekend. So this should be out shortly. Your first card is the 10 of Earth. Look at this beautiful card. Now, it's interesting because this card means change. And it means that it's, when it comes up, it's saying, don't be afraid of change. It's almost like you have changes coming and you're feeling that this change is going to make you poor and you'll be homeless and you won't have anything. And it's like feeling, it's that feeling of deprivation. And it's not believing that your future is going to be abundant or that you can replenish anything. And you're feeling that this change will be the ruin of you. So this is saying, look, first of all, change is inevitable, right? It's the only guarantee in life is change. And it's sometimes it's very difficult for us to, we don't like change, you know. It's not, it's very uncomfortable for us. We want to settle, we want to stay, and we want to feel secure. Of course, we want to go away, but we want to come back to our home base, right? So this is saying that everything's kind of up in the air for you and you are worried about this change. But at this time, you're being asked to think of this change as a richness, right? Because change gives us wisdom and life experience. So you always get something out of change, and you don't have to worry about don't worry and don't be in deprivation. You have to ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why can't I feel that this change is going to be a beautiful change, that things are really going to sprout from this change and it's going to be really good? So you've got to ask yourself where those thoughts and those feelings come from for personal growth, right? Now, clarifying it is the Three of Wands, darling. This is saying you've got to make optimistic plans. So you've got to you have to know that your ship is coming in. It's like you go to the dock and you wait for it to come in. It's like making long-term optimistic plans. If you're making long-term optimistic plans, then you wouldn't be afraid of this change. This change will be welcomed. So at this time you're being asked, look, maybe there's a storm, right? And you've got the King of Water, who is the safe harbor in a storm. Look, he's beautiful. The King of Water is this wonderful, emotional counselor, if you will. He's the kind of person that you know, this is a person who's the protector, who makes you feel good. He's a wonderful husband. He's not afraid to be deeply emotional. So he's not afraid of his feminine side. It's like he's gender fluid. He's just this wonderful, intuitive, spiritual, emotional, deep connecting person. Hang on. He's the same. Wait a minute. Let me go a bit further. I'm going to come back to the the King of Water. Underneath him, you've got the Knight of Wands, right? Charging in, impulsive, impetuous, right? Just going in. Okay, this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that you've got the, you've got the Fifth of Fire. There is some competition going on. There is some conflict going on in your life, or about to be in your life. Something is, this can indicate bullying. This can indicate a group of people attacking someone, and you can get into that group. I feel that, listen, and the Justice card is clarifying it. Okay, so this indicates that perhaps you have somebody at work or somebody's competitive and they feel that they want the power, or this could be you. You want the power. Whoever this is, it's like they can be ruthless in attaining that power. And this could get aggressive and ugly, right? Now it could be look, if you decide to handle this aggressively, you have to be prepared to get this aggression back. But what I'm getting at this time is, don't rush into this situation. Whatever it is, Pisces, don't rush in impetuously or impulsively, because this is the Knight rushing in, not thinking. I feel that you need to talk to someone about this. Get some counsel. Get some counsel on this situation. Maybe it's coming in for you and it hasn't got here, but change is inevitable. This is saying that change is inevitable and you're a little uncomfortable and you're in fear of this change. But you must be optimistic at this time, and you have to be empathetic and deeply. You've got to handle this situation with your mind and your emotions, and you are a very sensitive person, Pisces. I know that. With the Justice coming in, it's like karma, darling. You have to handle this situation with diplomacy, kindness and compassion. and if not, you've got it. And if you can't do that, if the other person's very ruthless and aggressive and or the situation, right, is, you have to get legal advice, and you have to take the legal route to whatever this is. You have to go to court or get a mediator or something. I don't know what's going on for you this week, Pisces. it's either coming in or not. There could be some, I don't even like using the word jealousy, but perhaps you've got an opportunity and somebody else doesn't. They want it. And they're going to do something kind of not so good. But on the other hand, it could be you. So you have a choice here. And you're being asked not to take the aggressive route. This is like, look, passion and aggression, and aggression meets aggression, right? So don't get, even online bullying, don't get involved with any kind of Facebook war or something like that, because it could be, it could be that. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. But if you get involved in this, it's going to ruin your reputation. That's what I'm getting, right? So it's not about not getting involved with it, but it's about diffusing it. And you have to be very careful with how you approach this. If you can't do this, because you might be really overly emotional, but you really need to kind of get somebody's advice on it. Don't just rush in, because your tendency, especially with the astrologically what's going on, your intention, your tendency, and you're going to just want to rush in and blah, 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 right? And you're going to want to fight for this. But you're being asked not to. You've got to hold back. Hold Mars back, be Saturn, stop Mars from rushing in and making this a really big fight. This is karmic. There's a karmic thing. There's a karmic value to this. So if you rush in with all, swords ablazing, you could get hurt. Your reputation could be hurt, and your pride, and you physically could be hurt. I mean, I don't know what this situation is. I mean, I think today it's more electronically. It's more verbal. But definitely, look, this change is coming in for you, and you have to don't handle this situation from the aspect of being in fear of losing everything, because you're not losing everything. You must make those optimistic long-term plans, Pisces, because things will work out for you. But just be careful how you handle this situation in this week. Don't be combative. Don't be aggressive. Don't rush in. Hold back on what you say to people. Breathe before, this just could be, an argument in the family. It could be that, Don't come from a place of fear and deprivation either. You must be optimistic at this time. It's really asking you to be optimistic. Pisces, thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.